30 years ago, 20 years ago, what happened to them? They treated their children as economic costs. And right now, no woman in Singapore would want to give birth. So what are they doing now in the last 5 years? Free date expenses, free love boats, tax deductions for marriages, for children, but it could not recover. And then, who's on the lead? Yan, yung Zimbabwe, South Africa, Afghanistan, yan, 5 birth rates per woman. But in the Philippines, you have 3.1. Okay, so China and Thailand are the most at risk in the next 40 to 50 years because they are running out of children. Yes, 1.2 billion will run out in the next 60 years. Okay, so next time. Next time. Okay, the Philippines has so much resources. Yes. Can I have another 2 minutes to finish this? There is sufficient liquidity next. Okay, I think you got the point. Okay, and self-rated poverty. Does it translate now? Our economic growth, does it translate to poverty reduction? Not so much. It's the same level. So, who among you are poor? You think you're poor. Okay lang yung pati 20% of families in Class A would answer this question, they are poor. How dare they? Yeah? How dare they? So, what is poverty? Remember, you are very blessed to be here, but to be poor means 27 pesos per day, per person. It's just half, almost half, $1 per day. In the Philippine statistics, threshold poverty statistics. 27 pesos per day. If you have 28 pesos per day, you're already starting to become middle class. That's so sad. That's so sad. Okay, next. Okay, so this is the GDP. Mr. Gopier has already discussed this. Okay, next. Okay, so net new jobs. No, look at the middle. We have not produced jobs. It is only in the last 3 quarters. Okay, so next. And then, of course, I computed the GNI minus inflation rate. You will know that we have not increased our purchasing power. That's the reason why we have not actually grown. This is the statistic that will not be presented by the government. We have not increased our purchasing power. Okay, so we have so much room for growth. Next. So, last na to. So, ito na lang sasabihin ko sa inyo na how do we now stimulate the economy? We stimulate the economy by memorizing these 4 words. So, Judith, 2.1, and these 4 words. Spending, production, employment, income. In this order. You can explain everything on earth with these 4 words. In that order. What is the impact of Pope's visit? Oh, there will be more emotion, more inspiration. Then there will be more spending, and more spending will lead to more production. More production will lead to more employment. More employment will lead to more income, and more income will lead to more spending. Multiplier effect. And the portion that is not enough is unemployment, and when the bottom overflows, it's inflation. And that's why it's very difficult to have full employment. Next. So you have investments, exports, and government spending. Next. Okay. So next. Okay. So do we have more spending? Well, as you can see in 2014, because of the Goles, everybody got scared. Because of PDAP, lahat ng version niya, everybody got scared. Okay, next. But we're hoping that in the second quarter, we have 20% growth in public construction. And that's why I'm very optimistic that the third quarter GDP is it will be much higher sa report. So yung mga nag-invest sa stock market, I don't know, it's your money, but I bet that on November, when the third quarter GDP is released, that will be the heyday of the recovery of the stock market. So I think it's no-brainer to buy stocks today at a discount of more than 20%. Okay? Anyway, next. Lapit na tayo. Next na lang yan. Next. Okay. Then the last item that I want you to remember is rubber duck. So the bath time is at its best when you have the bathtub filled with water and you have rubber duck. And next, but it is most depressing when the bathtub does not have water and you don't have rubber duck. In the Philippines, next, you have that much amount of water. So Singapore is so much filled with water, but we're this much, and then next, and then we have rubber ducking. So we're always happy with that amount. And then it's circulating in that particular bathtub. But who is rubber ducking? If you've reviewed your macroeconomics and intermediate and advanced macroeconomics, the rubber ducking, the next slide, is the most mathematical and the most technical term in the field of macroeconomics. Animal spirit. Animal spirit is defined as the confidence and optimism of consumers and investors to continue what they are doing. Without the animal spirit, there's no economic growth to talk about. That's why the first contribution of a president of a nation is that he should be able to deliver inspiring speeches. That's the first contribution of Obama to the American economy. Yeah? Change! Sabi ni President Obama. Then everybody cried. I don't know why. Change! Then everybody cried. Have you watched that? One word now, change! Everybody cried. And then after 4 years, and then the unemployment rate has not gone down, so it's not enough to have good speeches. You have to have good economic policies. Okay, next. So, in Hong Kong, they're all serious about the work. They don't know how to have fun. So they're always mad at each other. So you walk very slow, and then they will shout at you, "Get out of the way!" And then they employ an internationally renowned sculptor to make for them this giant rubber duck. And also, this was repeated in Taiwan 2 months after. Okay, and 3 days after, amidst the celebration, selfies, picture taking, etc., 3 days after, next slide. You're so happy, it cannot be. Okay? So that's why their animal spirit is artificial. How about in the Philippines? The Philippines is so natural for us. It's deep inside us. Not your friend is already, my boyfriend, no. It's okay. Let's just eat. Next slide. Our newest animal spirit, it's no accident that yellow there, no? So, next slide. And then the world waited for this speech of Pope. Because he went all the way to Tacloban just to deliver the speech. And everybody in the world was waiting for what he would say, what he was about to say. And he said, to those who lost everything, I do not know what to say to you. Everybody cried. Yeah, and then everybody, all the philosopher commentators said, that's the greatest philosophical, theological speech any book has ever delivered. I do not know what to say to you, but I will do it. Let's eat. Okay? Next slide. So, new and classical lessons in macroeconomics that we will take. Next, Filipinos are natural economists. So we're very religious, we have faith, hope, and love. Ang macroeconomic translation is that spending. It doesn't matter if I only have 100 pesos in my ATM, that's a payroll account, it's my birthday, I will withdraw the 100 pesos. Okay? So, no, bother about the penalties later. That is my birthday, I will spend it. So the money, MBPQ, the formula, MBPQ, the B is very, very high in that macroeconomic. Importance of being young, many, and happy. We are so young, we are many. So, if you are no longer young, just be happy. Okay? So, but if you are no longer young, if you are not yet, still you're not happy, you know what will happen to you. Okay? So, strong multiplier effect, and then our OFWs are our modern heroes. Okay? So next slide, last two slides. Okay. Is the Philippines entering a golden age? Yes, because before our scarcity was being financed by other people's money, loans galore. But right now, we have so much surpluses and we are having so much problem. What to do with our money? So, from the sweat, blood, and tears of our people. So, no longer a question of are we growing. So, forget about micro-analysis of our third quarter GDP. Forget about it. Just buy stocks, it's already at a discount. So, but our reserves can support us for 8 to 10% for the next 8 to 10 years. That $1 trillion, that $80 billion. And then the private sector is spending. So next. And then the government, with its good governance initiatives, had excellent fiscal management. Commissioner Henares collected money from everywhere, even from Manny Pacquiao, etc. And then we have so much money. However, administrative bottlenecks and fear of audit scared us from spending. That's a better problem than a government wanting to spend without money to spend. This is a better problem of a effects of good government. And then the sources of growth are coming from the private sector, and 3,000, imagine some of your batchmates are still not here. I can only imagine what the Philippine economy can achieve once all of you graduate. Right? Okay, so in the meantime, there are 400 and jobless Filipinos, 27 pesos per day for 28% of our Filipinos. So we need to speed up our infrastructure development, utilization of existing major projects, next. And therefore, infra spending is double-digit already, next. So therefore, we are on our way to enter the golden age. The growth will continue regardless of who will be our president. According to Dr. Villegas, even if you elect Vice Ganda, the maximum risk that we are going to face is 13% if you elect Vice Ganda as the president. So not so much discussion. So just go to the facts and you will have better discussion points. So economic education will further shift our animal spirit from bad news, from government action, and we have to engage our government. Be entitled and learn to translate your complaints to demand for goods and services from our government. And lastly, next. So this requires, okay, I end with this slide. So what should be our, after all the technical expertise, what should be our emotion for all this information and framework? Well, our feeling, anger, we should be mad at the sleeping resources. Any business should be mad at the money, at the resources, assets that is not multiplying. Diba kaya nga tayo may mga sales over assets. So you measure the multiplier, the turnaround of that asset into sales. So we should fear economic illiteracy. Learn about your GDP, GNI, and NPI so that you don't just discuss who will be the next president without discussing the impact. Okay, so solve our economic illiteracy and then disgust. We continue our disgust with corruption and bad governance. So this will translate into sustainability of reforms. And sadness. This is one of the most powerful emotions, sadness. We should be sad about the 27 pesos per day for many of our Filipinos. Okay? So they should be included in our plans, in our growth, in our projects, in social responsibility of corporations. And lastly, for joy, we should be happy that we are a happy and optimistic people. Okay? We are very, very happy. CNN had a very difficult time covering the Yolanda tragedy, the Yolanda event. Why? Because they were looking for sad faces. So they can, focus on it. And every time Filipino mga taga-Tacloban will see the camera, what will they do? Okay, and then they will play basketball without available water supply, potable water supply. They will play basketball, and the CNN reporters kept on wondering where will they get the water to drink after they play basketball. Okay, anyway, so all this will translate into values and value that will eventually and ultimately result in the consumption multiplier and investment multiplier, so that on our way to the golden age will be accelerated. So with that, I think I've given you so much, and I hope you remember at least 50% of these slides. So thank you very much.